Hey, what is happening, guys? Today I'm going to do a little comparison of the Hyper Tough bar clamp to the Irwin bar clamp. Um, right from the get-go, I'm just going to say right away, this Hyper Tough is the way I would go. This is $4 at Walmart. This is about $25. I got this at Menards. Um, and right now I got the Irwin actually apart to show you how the inside of it kind of works. So those springs kind of pop out on you when you take them apart. But uh, the reason why the Hyper Tough gets my vote right away is that when you go and lock this thing down to something, I haven't gotten this one to shake off or fall off of what I got clamped. And the Irwin, it's almost every time. If I'm running a saw or something and I got a 2x4 clamped down to something, I'm gonna saw the 2x4 quick. The Irwin tends to fail a lot, whereas the Hyper Tough, I haven't had it fail. And the clamping force between the two really seems like the Hyper Tough clamps way harder. So on the Irwin, we have a lot of nice features. We have these rubbers that tend to stay on, whereas the Hyper Tough, these guys like to pop off there, and then you lose them in the yard. You never see them again, and that's that. The Irwin also has on the jaw this little gripper that kind of moves and kind of follows the angles of whatever it is that you're clamping. Another thing that's kind of nice about the Irwin is that you can, if you push on the back here, you can pop this guy off. And right now it's kind of, there we go. So you push that, pop that off, and that's how you take your jaw off. Whereas on the, it's kind of, the Irwin is kind of finicky when you go to put it back on of where it is, and you kind of gotta, it's nice, but it's not the greatest thing in the world. Whereas on the Hyper Tough, then you have a screw here, and this nut tends to fall out. So I think, if you were gonna get one of these Hyper Toughs, there's two modifications that I would make. One being I would glue that nut in if you think that you're going to be taking this off a whole lot. But, it's a $4 tool, so I don't know really how much more you want out of it. And that's why today, guys, I am just comparing the Hyper Tough to the Irwin. The Irwin is an okay tool, but for the price point, I think I paid about $25 for this versus $4 for this. I'm going for this every time. And when it comes to things around the house that I'm working on, I'm always grabbing the Hyper Tough, and I'm never grabbing this because they just fail on me a lot. They lose their grip, they fall apart, and they don't do what I want them to do. One of the things, the biggest thing though on the Hyper Tough, the failing point that can really irritate a lot of people, and I understand this, is that if you look inside here, and I got one apart to show you, if you're running this guy here, the handle there, if you're running that, you can get to a point where you go too far and it can slip underneath these gripper things, and you can't reuse the tool again. You got to take it all apart, and you got to put this guy back up there to re-go again. But watch, you go too far, it slips past that point, you're done. So what I did is I drilled right here. I'll show you with right at this peak here, I drilled a hole, and I put a 1032, a 1032 machine screw, and I put it in there so that it stops the handle so you can't overextend. So that's pretty cool. The release on the Hyper Tough isn't really that neat either. You can only put really one finger on it, whereas the Irwin, you can put your whole hand if need be to get that thing to release. Sometimes when they're under pressure, they don't want to release. And another thing that the Hyper Tough is kind of goofy about is, look at this. The handle goes backwards. So when you go to tighten something down, it kind of digs into your palm there. So it's weird. But hey guys, I'm comparing a $4 clamp to a $25 clamp. The $25 clamp has a whole lot of cool features, but it fails doing its main job of clamping something. Whereas the $4 one, you know, it lacks here on the handle. Being backwards, it's goofy. It lacks with that little release there. It lacks with the jaw coming off. It lacks with the rubber's not staying on. But it does what it's supposed to do. For $4, it clamps what you need it to clamp, and it holds. Like I said, if you want to get some of these, cool. I would do that modification where you drill that hole and you put that machine screw in there. Or when you go and clamp something, just kind of be mindful, but it's kind of hard sometimes when you want to put a lot of torque down to, you know, kind of stop at a certain point. So that's why I put the machine screw in there. That's it, guys. This is my first YouTube video, so I hope you guys liked it. I hope it helps you make a decision. Like I said, $4 for a 12-inch bar versus 25. I should mention that this is quite the long bar. I'm not sure of the actual length on this, but it doesn't matter if this was $4 and this was $4. I'm still picking the Hyper Tough. You know, either way, the Hyper Tough is gonna win. But the one of the drawbacks is the Hyper Tough maxes out. I think these are the longest at 12 inches. But if you only have the two to choose from, and the length isn't a killer for you, I would go with the Hyper Tough. I'm not saying it's the best clamp out there. I'm saying it does good for $4. That's it, guys. Like I was saying, this is my first YouTube video. I'm new to this stuff. I'm not sure if the audio is going to be good, if the video is going to be good. So if you would, in the comments below, explain which one you guys think is better, which one you think that you would pick up in the store. And, you know, some engagement would be cool maybe. And if you guys were to hit that like button and the subscribe button, that would be really great. That would really help me out as I'm trying to build this channel. Thanks a lot, guys. I hope you appreciate this video.